Welcome back to 3 at 3. We are talking now about early voting in Memphis and Shelby County. Our next guests are Martavius Jones and Frank Colvett. Both served as Memphis City Council members, and they're here to kind of break down the current state of things in our city and county. Gentlemen, welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Frank, good to see you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about early voting. A lot of folks have turned out so far. So, Martavius, what are you seeing? What trends are happening here?
You know, I think that the redistricting has a lot of people energized about this election. I think that the current state of affairs of this country, people really want to see a difference, and I think that they're really aiming to have their voices heard this go around.
Yeah, Frank, what are you seeing out there? Are folks angry? What is motivating some of these folks on both sides, and who's doing it pretty well so far, you think?
Well, I think Martavius was right. People are having a chance to their votes and their voices to be heard. What we're seeing in the numbers, and it's still early, but what we're seeing is an uptick actually in Republican turnout and a slight downtick so far in the Democratic potentially. Now, it's obviously a lot of ground between here and there, but the numbers overall not entirely surprising. We're expecting from the Republican Party a huge turnout on Election Day, which is what we normally get. So we should let it play out a little bit more.
So, Martavius, what about you? We've spoken with some faith-based leaders who are really getting, quote, souls to the polls these days. Is that part of what it's going to take to get some Democrats out, if that's what they want to do, or what's the game plan there?
Well, in the black community, the church has always been an integral part of getting folks to the polls, and so I think this is no different. We currently have the state primaries taking place, as well as the county general elections. People know that we have a mayoral race and county commission races that will determine who's going to lead the county this go around. But I think that coupled with the redistricting has a little bit more outcomes, or has a little bit more participation than we've had normally around these times.
So, Frank, how do you see it? What are the issues, especially? What's driving people? Is it just the remapping of this district, which are now 3 districts? Is it crime? Are there other issues there? What's going to drive people out?
I think the party that's out of the White House is always energized in the midterms. You also have basically 3 new congressional districts, of which everybody in Shelby County is participating in. So that's driving turnout. I also think with county leadership, after 4 years ago, at least what I hear in the Republican circles, not getting our vote out 4 years ago got us the DA that we did not want. So I'm seeing a lot of reasons that both sides, both parties are definitely turned out and very interested.
Martavius, there seems to be a lot of national, and some have even said international interest in what's going on politically in Memphis with the upcoming redistricting and remapping. How do you see this playing out also? We've also seen a number of national politicians coming to Memphis for other candidates. Does that help? Does that sway voters, you think, one way or the other?
It could, but I don't think that. I think it may be too little, too late. I was having a conversation with somebody over the weekend and looking at not only this district as well as, and this a quick tangent, Mississippi and South Carolina, large black populations. The districts that we have, the new 3 redistricted areas, if we had national resources, we could really make this redistricting backfire on the Republicans, but we just don't have the resources behind it to do it at this late point in time to really make a difference, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong, though.
Frank, I see you want to jump in on this.
Very much so. If you had a chance to win, Martavius, the resources will find you, my friend. Look, we have a ton of momentum in the Republican Party, and the money is coming this way simply because we do have this kind of momentum. I think this is the opportunity, though, that these future congressmen, and these seats only come up every now and again. It's not like we have an open congressional seat every 2 years. I think this is an opportunity also for the candidates to introduce themselves more than they are, share what their values are, share how they plan to lead.
I also want to get your thoughts on the General Sessions Court Clerk. Tammy Sawyer has been temporarily replaced by Gerald Thornton with the county. How do you all see this pick? Is this a good pick, and how do you view it?
I've known Mr. Thornton for quite some time. He served as a assistant city attorney, and before school board, before city council, I served on the alcohol commission. So I find Mr. Thornton a smart attorney. he can get the job done. He worked for Ms. Halbert before he served in this capacity. So I think that he has, he served in the Coast Guard, which would be a meritocracy. Like I said, I think a person that's very capable of leading the office for whatever duration he's asked to do it.
Frank, your thoughts?
I hope Mr. Thornton left his previous work for Wanda Halbert off his resume, but I would further argue. Look, I hope he succeeds. I hope he puts the team in place to succeed, because for our viewers, this is the office that sends the packets and the cases to the judge. So any kind of delay is justice delayed, justice denied. So I hope that he jumps in both feet, and I hope he hires the right team to get this done, because this messes up, slow walks the judicial system, and that delays justice for people.
One last thing very quickly here. I spoke with Commissioner Thornton about this as well, Brittany, and your thoughts on this MSCS lawsuit, the county's lawsuit against the state, the takeover. Where does that stand, you think? How does that play out?
Well, I just hope that that the judge realizes that you've taken away the voices of people who live in Memphis and Shelby County. Just a quick tangent too, the same thing is happening with the airport authority. We have Nashville fighting the takeover. I wish Memphis would have done the same.
The last word is yours, Frank.
The kids are the ones that lose. As long as we delay putting in this new group that have the ideas and can make the changes necessary, the current school board has not done the right thing. We can't say that our schools are even good. So what we have to do right now is get that new group in to make the necessary changes.
All right, gentlemen, thank you both.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.